Welcome to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. A reminder, we're streaming live on Sportsnet's YouTube channel and airing live on Sportsnet 360 Monday to Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. Make sure you find the Raptors Show wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe, and please rate and review our show. I'm your host, William Liu. I'm joined in the studio today by my co-host, Alex Wong, but that's not that special, really. You're here half the time anyway. Special guest, though, Gary Trent Jr., back by popular demand, one of our most, I don't know, we just got a lot of great feedback when we had you on before. So what's up, Gary? How you doing?
I'm awesome. I appreciate y'all having me up here, man. Just coming to check out the games, but it's beautiful to be able to catch this moment, too.
Yeah, I saw you visited Pi earlier this week. Was that your first time at the restaurant, or have you been
No,
you're a regular there?
I've been there a few times. To be honest, man, I've been having some terrible food experiences here in Toronto. I can't find a breakfast place that just satisfies me everywhere. I'm not going to call any names out in a bad way, but I've been to a few places, and I'm like,
okay. You got any recommendations?
The portions is.
You're a big
Listen,
breakfast
I went to a
guy.
spot, they had said it was 2 eggs and something else. I scooped the whole egg serving on one scoop on the fork.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I notoriously dislike breakfast, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't. You don't believe in eating eggs in the morning, right?
No.
Is that your thing?
I don't believe in eating eggs outside of the morning, man. I mean, like in a protein shake or whatever, but
Yeah. He doesn't like the all-day breakfast.
Oh, see, I can
situation.
eat breakfast any time of the day.
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But Pi though, we got to give Pi the shout out because we're in the same basketball run as the guy who runs Pi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
play hoop with them. So like we hoop with them on Tuesdays. So
Yeah,
honestly, next time if you're here in Toronto,
No, they
if
had.
I could bring you as a ringer,
No, there was so
You're
much.
asking for too much, man.
if you could come play pickup with us, you know that would be
Let me
you would make my
tell you
dream come
something
true.
funny, right? So I work out back home at Lifetime, and I'm cutting through one day, coming down the steps, and some kid runs up to me now. He don't know that I'm playing any type of basketball. He just comes up, sees a big person. He's like, hey, you dude, you. Hey, can I ask you something? I said, what's up? He's like, hey, I don't know what you got going on tomorrow. Would you like to play on my Lifetime fitness team? They had the Lifetime playoffs, and he was trying to recruit me to play on the squad. He was like, man, we definitely could use you on the boards. Like, but I honestly, he didn't know that I played any type of basketball. He just seen a big athlete that was cutting by the gym and was like, man, he would be perfect for our team.
I'm just saying, man.
hilarious.
Listen, it's an open invite, all right, Gary. I whenever I see you in Toronto, I'm gonna hit you with a text. I'll send you that Harborfront Community Center address.
All right, Alex, you're already asking for too much, man. We're putting you on timeout for at least 2 minutes, man. You're asking our
We should
guests,
get ramen, the three of us.
you're really asking our guests right now to go play ball. All right, so your son. All right, let's talk about Gary Trent Jr. right now, right? Pretty good season so far. Big shot against Miami, deep in the corner to clinch that game, and then 27 points on Wednesday, the game that you were at. What have you made of his season so far, and just some of the big timely shot making from him? It seems like he lacks no confidence in that front.
Well, it's still early in the season, and there's a lot of adjustments to be made and a lot of progress to still be made with him, the team. You know, every season, no matter what your role was or what you accomplished the year before, you have to come back and reestablish yourself, whether it's with the referees, whether it's with your teammates, to reassure them that when they see you at practice, yep, he didn't have that last year, or he was not as good at that last year, so they can see you work. And they believe in you and have faith in you. And it's the same with your front office. So every year it's you can sign a 5-year deal and be in the first year of it, but every year is still a proving point. Every year of that deal, every year that you're in the league, every practice. And even if it's not a proving point, it's just a consistency of making people believe in what you're doing because you've done it for so long. So, last year you don't have a championship, right? So every other team that didn't win the championship, you have something to go for. And the team that won it last year has something to fight for. So there's never a moment that you shouldn't be working or can't be working as a team, as a unit. And it's not always about working on the court. Sometimes watching film as a team, to understand, hey, when I'm guarding this guy, I'm going to force him baseline. I want you to come. Just things like that. That's working as a team. It's not always about working together physically, playing defense as a team, talking on the floor. I coach a 5th grade team, and a lot of times if those opposing teams hear us shout out, when you force some baseline, I got your help. When you force some baseline, I'm here. When that kid hears that, he already know, okay, if I go baseline, that big kid's going to be there. And I got the guy at the nail shouting that too. When he comes middle, I got him. When he comes middle, I'm going to jump to the elbow. You're telling the defender what you're going to do, whether you're going to do it or not. So 9 times out of 10, especially at the level I coach, a kid will look once, twice, and get rid of it because he's been discouraged by what he heard them going to do.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And I'm sure you watched the first round series pretty closely, last year, Raptors, Sixers. What did you make of the Raptors' performance, and what did you make of Gary's performance in that series?
They kind of got beat up. Embiid is the biggest guy in the league right now, and they have the length out there. Boucher and Pascal. Those guys got some length, but they don't have the girth to bang with that guy. And Embiid's just big. Not too many teams. There's only two or three teams that's got a guy that has the length and girth to even match what he can do. And he's very skilled. And to me, the success of Philly is going to be through him. They can have James Harden and all that, but everybody has a guard that can shoot a three. Everybody has a guard that can handle. Maybe not as good as him, but everybody has what you have. Everybody don't have Embiid.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we even saw, I don't even think that he doesn't look 100% to me right now. Physically just running up and down the court half the time. He's not getting back in transition.
Well, one thing to me, when you want to be a dominant big man, you have to be dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And Joel doesn't show enough dominance for me. You show that you're good, and you show that you're better than average, and you have great nights, but you don't show me dominance. And what I mean by dominance, I think I looked up the other night, you're the biggest thing in the league, and you have 5-6 rebounds.
Yeah.
You should be leading this league in rebounds or in the top 3 every year.
Yep.
Yep. I'm watching the help side. You're not coming over, it's not a whisper or a mumbling around the league of, when Mutombo played, we sat in the locker room and be like, hey, you come baseline, he coming. Mutombo going to pick, we'll tease each other Mutombo great, get you up out of there, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're not talking like that about Joel, man, you come, Joel going to cut. No. You know what I'm saying? There's guys that might not believe they're going to dunk on him, but there's not guys where he instilled that fear he's that dominant big man. He dominates the paint, and he controls the game, and I'm not knocking him anyway, but I'm just saying for him to move in that upper echelon of greatness, for him to get that MVP he's been chasing, he got to dominate in other categories. And I think if he dominated the boards and he dominated the paint, averaging 2.5 to 3.5 blocks a game, Philly would be a whole different team.
Yeah, this is what I always tell Will, too, because he's a little younger. So, I grew up watching, guys like, Shaq and Hakeem and, David Robinson, all the great centers.
I grew up watching them and then went out there and had to get elbowed by them.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I got both sides of the
so you know what I'm saying. And I always try to tell them, guys back in the day, like Shaq, these guys were dominant on both ends of the floor, right? You talk about being in the locker room, talking about it to Kembe. I'm sure when Shaq was on the calendar, that was a different problem, right? Everybody had to get their 6 fouls ready.
You ready. And, that's what I mean by dominance. You knew Shaq wasn't shooting anything outside the charge circle. You got centers today out here that want to shoot a 3. You got guys shooting floaters. When I first got my job with the Timberwolves, and this was Carl Towns' rookie year, because me and a guy named Vince Lagarza, he's a great player development guy, and we were staff for the Timberwolves, and we work with Carl. And I'm watching some of the things that we're teaching today's players, like shooting floaters on the baseline and this and that. And I'm like, I can't see Sean Kemp shooting a floater. Sean Kemp is getting ready to come down his lane and snatch the screws out his backboards. They didn't teach floaters.
Yeah.
I can't see Karl Malone coming in there shooting that little floater. No, he's coming in, and he's coming in hard, freight train, straight ahead. And in our era, it wasn't about a floater, because if you shot a floater, you was considered soft. In our era, 7-footers that shot 3s, to us, that was a sign you didn't want no smoke in the paint. You soft. That's why you shooting them jumpers, because you don't want to be in here, because the game wasn't evolved to the level of skill mindset like that. Only big men that were shooting like that in the 90s and late 80s and late 90s were Arvydas Sabonis and the foreign players, And if you notice, a lot of times when they was putting our Olympic teams together, they never took true centers, because a true center in Europe had like a skill set of a 3 or 4 because they shot perimeter, things of that nature. So that's what made like a Arvydas Sabonis in his prime a nightmare matchup because he could give you the back to the basket dominance of a 5, but he could also pop out there and make a 5 because you put 5s in pick and rolls due to lateral movement and some slow feet. You know.
Well, I mean, like when do you think this sort of shifted, right? Because I think right now it's pretty clear, like most bigs want to play that perimeter skill set, right? I think every big looks at like a KG, of like a Dirk.
I think part of it is the way the offenses are designed. You have to bring more to the table. Like if all you got is back to the basket, okay, that's cool. But if you got back to the basket and a elbow jumper, now you something else. You know what I'm saying? If you got back to the basket and a 3, now you something else. But here's what done happened too. A lot of these 7-footers have come to the gym and they developing all these jumpers and all this elbow and they want to do all the James Harden and step back lick because you're really soft at heart. So you come in here and you use the skill game as a scapegoat because you're soft. You're soft. It's a lot of soft guys in this league right now. A lot of soft guys on the Raptors. I mean, I watch them. I see them. It's soft guys on every team. Yeah, I'm not being negative. I mean, I just played in this game. I know who you soft. I can tell the way you play. I can tell the way you get pushed out of there as opposed to who you push back. Are you going to push back? Are you when it's time, nut cutting time, what are you going to do? Are you willing to take a charge? Are you willing to get in somebody's face? Are you willing to like be a Pat Bev type of irritant but really can back it up?
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of softness in the league.
Yeah, and I think you bring a different perspective, obviously, having played, in a particular era, played in the NBA. And it's like, I'm sure you were watching like Sixers, Raptors last year, and during the playoffs, I think, there was a little back and forth in Game 6 with Embiid and Pascal. Like things were getting physical like that. That's like not even like, that doesn't even compare to the
that's
stuff
just how
that
the game should be played, man. That's playoffs.
Now they settle stuff on social media, right?
No, you don't settle nothing on social media. You just keep it going. See, that you settle it.
That's wisdom.
If you wanted to settle it, you would settle it because every guy on another team has somebody on the team that got your number. It's 15 guys on the roster. There's 15 guys on this roster. Guaranteed there's one guy on the Raptors roster with a number or a friend or somebody that can get to him and talk to him personally to where you can squash the beef, by talking about it on the phone where it doesn't have to get to the internet. Because the internet back and forth is just a shouting match. Everybody tough.
Yeah.
Everybody tough. I can hide behind a keyboard and tell Mike Tyson I'll knock him out. Bro.
Yeah, this is what we do. Yeah.
Are you going to say that? Are you going to tell Mike that at the hot boxing set? When it's hot boxing time, you're going to be like, Mike, you going to walk in the gym and be like, Mike, nah, you're going to shout it all over the internet.
Yeah.
No, this is theatrics anyway. It's going to get broken up and whatnot because there's a tunnel.
Yeah,
You want some smoke? There's a tunnel. Yeah. Everybody know how to be found in the summer. Everybody know everybody's agent. Nobody cannot be found. If you want to find somebody, you can.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you just don't see that nowadays. Like I really genuinely
well, there's
don't
really
think
no place for it.
I mean, there's no point, man.
Yeah,
Also,
there's no place
way too
for
much
it now.
money.
Yeah, I mean, there's no place for it. Like, okay, I meet up with you. We get into it in the tunnel. Then what? Even if I beat you up or you beat me up, we still didn't. I mean, there's still no
What did that
place for it.
accomplish?
Oh, it accomplished understanding, though. Now, there's a little bit of accomplishment.
Okay,
but
all right.
we can get some understanding. So now, next time you push my back, or next time you see me out there, or next time I say something, it's some understanding. But in all actuality, there's no place. But there's that underlying note that keeps the structure, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of time, like, every team when I played just about had somebody that was going to enforce the rules.
Right.
Somebody was going to enforce rules. And like, okay, say we were playing the Knicks, and you was on my team and you was on the Knicks, and y'all got into it.
Yeah.
I might tell, okay, hey, grab your guy, man. Grab your guy because, you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like an unwritten rule type thing.
Yeah, that's
you
the respect amongst the
court.
guys. Like, hey, grab your guy, man, so we can keep the game going. Man, grab these guys, they really ain't about to fight. I'm one of them type of things. You know what I'm saying? But then there's that time where he got to back his guy, and now it's like, okay.
Yep.
And this is where sometimes those out-to-dinner friendships, sometimes they test it now. Because now y'all into it, and maybe you did do something dirty to him, so he got the right to feel like that, and I got to back him, but Oak can't let us get you. So he got to, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like rolling with your friend, right or wrong. Even though he wrong, I got to roll with him because that's who I came with. That's who I'm with.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day too, like you mentioned, a lot of stuff gets settled on the court, right? Whereas now I feel like the refs take too much control of it too. Like especially when I'm watching in the playoffs, like anytime the physicality gets ratcheted up a little and there's a hard foul, it's straight to the review. And it's a flagrant foul at times. And it kind of just de-escalates any physicality for certain teams.
You know, the league is worried, though.
I'm not going to say the refs are taking too much control. That's what they're told to do.
Sure.
They're told they're there to police it, to not get out of control.
You're protecting the product. Right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, let the guys play. Let them do this. But if you get a little sense of that you might lose a little control, this is how you pull that zip tie and tighten this up here. So we're going to go to the review. We're going to issue you a flagrant one because now you're on thin ice.
Yep.
Well, anything little Dennis Rodman like you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what that is. It's to put you on, what's that in soccer? What is it, a yellow card?
Yeah, it's a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. You
Right.
know, it's a yellow card. Like, hey, we watching you now. Keep it up.
Yeah, like think about the other night. What was that foul? There's a foul on Joel Embiid. The Raptors fouled Joel Embiid. And I think he was kind of like, he dove to the floor a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just a regular play, and I just didn't understand why that was something that needed to be reviewed to see if it was a common foul.
I think there's too much review of every foul. Is it a flagrant? Is it a flagrant?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the guys aren't even, the player's not even complaining as much as the situation is trying to be made out to be, you know. But I guess it comes with the game. You want to protect the players, and I think if they keep the sensitivity of it at zero tolerance, you know, because once you start saying, okay, well, on Monday we let them go hard, Wednesday we didn't, we're not going to really review, and then on Thursday night we're going to review extra. You got to be consistent in it throughout the league nightly to make sure it's fair for everyone, make sure it's fair for the league. So I just think that they're just trying to keep the game clean, trying to keep the game fresh. I don't think it's a referee ego or anything. I think the refs are getting that call from New York. Hey, you better keep it tight.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And they know. And one thing about being an official, man, I don't think a lot of the public knows, you earn a review after every game. You're under review after every game, and every call that you make is reviewed. Every call. If it's a technical, a foul, or
non-call,
a call that you didn't call. Yep. Why did you not call it? Like, every call is under review. Your whole, like, you're basically walking around with a drone over you the whole time, watching everything you do in a sense. So, you know, I think it's just, you know, just to keep things tight, keep things in order, and keep things fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, dude. Like, I don't think the league wants situations like, you know, that game against Miami, that first game, right? You get a random scuffle between Caleb Martin and Christian Coloco, the rookie, right? And it goes into the crowd. And I think that's when the league is real worried. They're like, you know what? No matter what, obviously we want to keep our best players on the court, but no matter what, you guys can't go in the stands. That's a sensitivity that comes into it.
Well, you know, when you buy a ticket to sit there, you got, if you get dove on or your beer gets spilled or you get part of a fight, you know, that's all part of the NBA experience. That's what makes it fun.
That's a memory.
I don't.
It's an experience.
Yeah, a lot of people, depending on who you are, like, you want to, like my son, Grayson, right? He always used to tell his mom he wanted to go to the game. And he wanted to be courtside so Giannis could fall on him.
Why?
Listen, that's what my son said. He want Giannis to fall on him.
Isn't your son like a teenager?
Listen, no. He's 11 now, but he said this when he was like 9. He want Giannis to fall on him at the game and then dap him up and tell him, hey, keep working, little man. Like something like to that effect. That I said, son, let me share something with you. I said, if Giannis fall on you, you probably going to break something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're probably going to be injured because, you're a 9-year-old kid.
Could be a lawsuit,
You know, but kids,
get somebody out of
people,
come on, man.
they want to be part of the game, and that's all part. Guess what you pay for? You want your feet on that hardwood. You want to post it on your social media. You want to be seen out there. You want to look like you balling all that.
You on all the highlights.
People want to look like they balling, even if the tickets was free.
No, this is a culture.
You get some free tickets,
listen,
but you gonna post it in social
free,
media like you came out to hit 20,000 for these tickets.
No, listen, man. This is the clout chasing economy, and you know we do it too because you know we're credentialed to go to the game, and because we cover the game for Sportsnet for the radio, we're sitting in the radio booth like up top, like in the 600s, but we only ever post photos when we're pregame courtside. Yeah.
All right, man. Listen, why you
snitching on us? You ain't gonna post up. Nobody else to post with the tissues. We got up there bleeding.
No. I'm not gonna let people know we in the nosebleeds.
Get you a Kleenex. Get you a Kleenex ad. Have a box right there. Get you a little Kleenex on your Instagram, man. Be like, hey, when you're high up in the seats.
Can't let every
You
can't let
you can see the whole game from up there,
Yeah,
though. It's like a
right.
chessboard.
no, you gotta curate your life, man. That's what it's all
Straight
about.
up.
You know, I was talking to you before we came on air. You know,
Mhm.
obviously, you know, like Will mentioned up top, you were such a fan favorite last season. You know, the couple times that we called you, I think people really appreciate, you know, how candid you are and kind of the personality that you're able to show. And you told me that you took some classes at Syracuse, and then have you
So-
ever thought about like doing media?
So
in
you'd
the-
be great, man.
In the NBA, you know, especially nowadays with the money that's being made and the resources and the relationships that they've made, there's not too much you can't do. I mean, you can get into any industry, whether it's clothing, cars, you know, like Dame Lillard owned a car lot. I think it's Dame Lillard Toyota back in Minnesota. I mean, in Portland. You know, just you can get off in anything. And they offer these programs in the summer, the Top 100 camp, where all the top 100 players come. That's where you come and get your training to be assistant coach, head coach. You understand the responsibilities of that. They offer the NBA Players Executive Program where you come and understand what it takes to work in the front office as a GM, assistant GM, front office person, all those things. And they offer the thing at Syracuse, the broadcasting. They take you there. It's a 4-day crash course. You learn color commentary, radio, you know, in studio. You do in studio. I made a DVD because they make your DVD to promo. So when I'm watching SportsCenter, I can tell the newbies. I can tell when they were off cue. I can see because I trained it. So now that I have a better understanding, because a lot of times you have to work in this environment to know dude messed up on cue, or he his mic was off, or like he didn't it didn't answer properly, or you can tell when there's tension between the people, even though the public thinks they're just cooling, but people can tell when there's tension on the set if you've been on a set.
Yeah.
So you just learn all those things, and it was a beautiful experience, man. I think everybody that went there ended up with a job. Like Antonio Daniels went through there with me. You know, he's from Columbus, Ohio now. I think he's with the Pelicans, you know. So
He's a TV guy, right?
yeah, you know, so I went through there and did that training, and I got to pursuing it, but it kind of got in the way of what I wanted to do with my kids. So that's what kind of pumped my brakes. You know, I have 4 sons, and Gary being my oldest, so I wanted to make sure that I was present to be able to give my other children the same opportunity. And, you know, I look at it like this, okay? Say you get one of them big-time jobs, right, as an assistant coach, because I did assistant coaching 1 year for the Timberwolves. Sam Mitchell ended up being a head coach because that was the year that Flip passed.
Right.
So when I did that season there, you know, Kevin had came back, it was Carl's rookie year, and, you know, for many, many, many years, I was like, you know what? I wanted to be coaching in the NBA because I had always been coaching. And then when I got there and I was actually part of it, it was the most beautiful thing, gave me the greatest experience, and I learned so much that I was able to pass down to my elementary teams to give them an advantage, because everybody's doing basic training when I'm training these kids with pro techniques, pro footwork, pro mindset, pro sets as elementary kids. But what I notice is while I'm at the Timberwolves game coaching, we down 30, but I get a text that 6 minutes away, my son just dropped 46. And I'm not a part of those moments. And I can't be a part of those moments. So I get a big time job that's going to give me $200,000 a year, right? Say just, you know, coach and get 200.
Yeah.
10 years is $2 million. All right. By the time I get taxed on that and they take 300 off the first million, 300 on the next million, now I'm down to 1.4, right? So by the time I live on that, pay for kids, try to pay for kids at college and do all of this extra, and try to take a vacation here or there, I never got to live. All I did was exist. I just exist on the planet. I got up, went to work, came home, paid bills, sleep. Got up, went to work, came home, paid bills, sleep. So I didn't get to live. I just was going to be existing. And me not taking those opportunities, it was hard at times, you know, because I know that, you know, those type of jobs, as long as you don't get in any trouble, you can do them from a wheelchair 50 years, you know.
Yeah.
But when I looked at the bigger picture of it, think about the money that my son has made now, and think about the potential of the money he's made. You know, you signed this deal for 55. You got a chance. You're only 23 years old. My son could sign 2 5-year deals or 3 because he's young enough.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So by the time my son has a chance at 300 to 500 million, he might have not had a chance at 300 to 500 million for me to take that $200,000 for 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, I was in a fortunate enough situation already being a pro to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the average world, somebody put 200,000 on, you're going to be at that job.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm at this job. No.
Oh, you out of here right now?
No, I'm here.
You're not talking to millionaires right now, right? So,
no, but
Gary,
I'm just
adjust your numbers.
Yeah,
Please.
but I'm just saying
One
that
of us.
my opportunity, I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to, turn my back on being able to create an opportunity for my child because I had to, be here, be there, do this, do that. So it was, and I'm just doing the same thing with my other son. So, I'm parenting from across the spectrum because I got 4 sons. My youngest is 9. My oldest is 23. So the things that I talk to Gary about and his needs and what we're doing with his life and conversations are totally different than my 4th grade son.
Yeah, that's dope. But you know what? Like, having Gary must really help with the other kids, right? Because, like, there's a 10-year gap between me and my brother. I'm basically like his third parent. You know what I mean? I show him the way.
I'm going to tell you one of the greatest things is from a inspiration standpoint. Everywhere my kids go in Minnesota, somebody talk about me. Hey, because I played on the most successful Timberwolves team. So they always talk about it. Everybody's proud of it. Everybody recognized me in the community because I've been coaching kids in the community. And I worked in schools, as behavior intervention for a long time. So, like, I was at the ground level of these kids. So a lot of kids know me not just from basketball. And they talk about it. They tell my sons, oh, your dad played Timberwolves. That's cool. You can go to YouTube, maybe catch 2 clips because they didn't have that back then because everything is Gary on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest inspiration is, your dad did this, your dad did that. But they're old enough, smart enough, and the kids around them, and due to internet and due to society's just advancement, they can touch that inspiration. Like, they can actually come to the game. That's my brother out there playing. That's my brother that just got that steal. That's my brother that just dunked on this guy. That's my brother that just hit that buzzer beater. So as their father, they're always going to love me as dad. They're always going to love me for how I parent, what I'm doing, and how I'm guiding them. But their dream is, to do what my dad did, but to be able to watch JR do it is another level of inspiration and wind in the sail to make them really believe because they can touch it. You can walk through this locker room and sit in this chair and be like, this really could be me. Like, it's like, because I used to do that with him when we were younger. Like me, KG, we'd be sitting there in the cold tub, and he'd be sitting there next to us talking, and he'd be in the locker room, Kevin McHale's kids, Sam Cassell's kids, and they just, being in that environment, being able to smell that environment, walk like the athletes and believe in like the athletes and hear the conversations that they're having and seeing how they prepare, seeing what happens after they win the game, seeing what they look like after they lose the game. It's just a whole level of inspiration and connectivity that you can't get. You can't pay for. You can't get that level of inspiration. It's just there. And that's the greatest thing about what his accomplishments is, besides the fact that, the high character things and showing them this is how you got to be, this is what you got to do, this is how you need to go about it. Because his 2 younger brothers believe that they want to play in the NBA. Okay. I don't have to make a lot of references to, well, Kobe, I use Kobe as a reference, I'll use Steph as a reference, I'll use Giannis or any NBA player. I show a lot of Iverson video, but I don't have to use those as references because you already have your brother that sleeps in this house with you, your brother that then held you, your blood brother. So that's the greatest inspiration to have that person right in there. It's kind of like what Beyonce and them doing with Ivy. Like, what better inspiration can she get? There. Like, your dad is arguably the greatest. Your mom is, I don't know,
arguably the greatest,
or at least the richest and the most popular. So hey, they can't go wrong with the recipe.
Yeah. Well, name your top 5 Jay-Z albums right now.
Yeah, listen.
You think he's the GOAT?
Nah,
hold up. Is Jay-Z the GOAT to you?
Is Jay-Z the GOAT?
Jay-Z's my GOAT.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Kanye before,
Kanye?
I don't know, man.
Hold up. How you gonna have some guy the GOAT that don't even write his own music?
I'm 29, man. I'm 20. You gotta ask Gary Trent Jr.
He write his own music.
You gotta ask your son who's the GOAT. Ask him about Jay-Z albums, man.
You can't be the GOAT when everybody goes writing for you. Now, I'm not knocking his craft because, you know what I'm saying? But when you can't, that's like somebody performing for Jordan. Somebody come in on baseball, you know, they got that sub hitter guy. What's he called?
Like a
designated
yeah,
hitter.
like a designated hitter. Yeah.
Somebody will come in and shoot the free throws for me,
Yeah.
but I'm the greatest. Nah, you got to do it yourself.
But he did both.
No Kanye talk on this on this
I'm
show,
strictly
man.
talking like
Please.
2014 Kanye, maybe it's before that.
No more
but-
Kanye talk. You got two Jay-Z stands.
Yeah,
cornering
I'm
you
going
right
with
now.
Jay-Z on the GOAT. But I couldn't even put him in that argument because he don't write his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? No. He's a great performer. You know, I'm not knocking that. Like Diddy, he don't write his own stuff. Listen, if I could have you write me something and I still be beyond rich and beyond famous, man, here go a pen and pad right now. Write me everything. Write me everything. I don't care.
That's a good
How do we
argument.
get
man.
here?
Let me go out. I can perform. I'm a spin. I'm a back glide, dance, backflip, cartwheel, and get all the show money in the world. And I'm gonna let you keep writing. I'm gonna pay you your credits and everything. I don't have a problem with it. I just can't put you in an argument when you ain't writing your own music.
No.
Wow.
There we go.
All right, fine. Jay-Z the GOAT. There we go. It's
got
easy
pressed.
for me, man. I'm not depressed about it. No, but honestly, though, that conversation you said, it's super dope, right? That's like the example that every parent wants to give to their kids, right? That opportunity of like, giving, Gary the chance to be in the locker room with you guys, right? Like, you can see it now. Even though he's really young, he carries himself like a vet. He carries himself in a very composed way when he does interviews. He comes across as very stoic. And, you could see that experience in sort of your son, even at a very, very early age, and that's going to set him up for a really long career. I mean, like, damn, he's only 23. He's probably seeing what Tyler Hero just made, what, Jordan Poole, and it's like, it's the right time
the
for it,
awesome
too.
thing is, like, it's your 5th year, and you're only 23.
Yeah.
Like, a lot
Damn,
of
it's year 5 already, eh?
Yeah, but you're
flies,
23, so, like, it's one of them situations where your experience is way beyond your years, and that's what's going to give you a long time to be able to, make a lot of impact in the league and play for a very long time just coming in so young,
Yeah. You want to take a break and then come back, talk a little Raptors with Gary?
Let's do that, man.
Yeah.
You good to stick around?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
good.
All right, we're going to take that break. I'm your host, Walu, and you've been listening to The Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Memphis, then you came to the league. So you kind of been off for a while. Can you put that
on? Welcome back to the Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm your host, Wayne Liu. Continue to be joined by Alex Wong and Gary Trent Sr. What do we have? Discussion about Jay-Z as the GOAT. Come on, I know that one at least, man. The Black Album, one of my favorite albums, you know? So,
yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying to, like, you know,
Gary and I could debate, you know, Blueprint versus Reasonable Doubt. You know, we could go on, but.
You know, a lot of times with the music, depending on what you've really done in your life and where you're at in your life is how you connect to it.
Yeah.
You know, if you've been through, the Blueprint wouldn't be a classic to you if you was living in the Reasonable Doubt times. If you were ever under federal pressure or ever moving around like that.
Damn, that's real.
That's what you're going to connect into because you're going to know that was the authentic time. You're like, man, I was in that same situation. You're not going to connect to the Clearport and the private jet. And that's why a lot of people felt like they lost touch with the music because he started talking about things that people haven't done, people hasn't seen, so they don't understand. Like, what's the Clearport? That's the part where you park your car valet and you walk on the runway, but you ain't walked on the runway. And I probably would have never known that had I didn't go to NBA or had I wasn't doing it with the team. I would have went to the airport, you know, TSA, I'm at clear. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of your own experiences to be able to connect with the music. Why do you think everybody can fall? Everybody loves love music. Like, because everybody's been in love.
Right.
Yeah, you listen to, like, Smokey Robinson or any type of...
Or some Neil. Yeah, you like
any
Neil?
type of that. Yeah, any of those type of... Any love song or any R&B, you know, those type of things, because everybody's been in love, no matter where you've been at in life.
They've been in love. They've had their heart broken.
Yeah, all of that. Or you're currently in love right now, or your relationship right now, that song applies to your relationship. He cheated on me, or... you know how that's going to go. You know, all that song... So, you know, a lot of times music connects to people. That's why it connects such to your soul, because a lot of times it's speaking to what you've done, been a part of, seen, like, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, as someone who grew up in a privileged family, you know, that's why I still related to Jay-Z when he started talking about, you know, going to the Art Basel and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, he's living this different life.
See, he went from the privilege point, and I went from the point of... I remember doing it on the stove.
Listen, I'm just trying to keep it real with you too, man.
We've been turning water into wine.
Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, we got to do our Friday shout-outs. As always, want to give a shout-out to Derek Brandeo, Jennifer Rolnick, helping us behind the scenes, and also Devang, Kyle Craig, JR, DT, Greg Sansoni, Pat Flash, and all the people here at Sportsnet. I want to shout out all our guests this week. I want to shout out all our guests this week. Vivek Jacob, Howard Beck, Michael Grange, Keith Pompey, Gina Mizell, and of course, Gary Trent Sr. for joining us. Gary, you being the guest, you have any shout outs you want to give out?
Let me shout out my hometown, Columbus, Ohio. I got
Is this going to be a 15-minute track here?
I got a lot of family there and a lot of friends there. And I hope y'all don't let me down, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, I got a group of workout friends that might let me down, so I have to put it out there on my story every day for them to not let me down.
Okay.
So, shout them out. They know who they are. You know, shout out Minneapolis. I got some cats there that might let me down too, but my family's there. My kids, the mother, everybody, their family, her family. So, you know, that's my extended family. You know, all of my wife's family. Is basically my family in Minnesota.
No, love that, man. Shouts to my Tuesday pickup run. Working on getting Gary Trent Sr. to join the roster soon. So
join the roster. Oh, the
the pickup run.
Oh, the pickup run. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Will's like, please
no,
stop
you know what?
doing
No,
this.
listen. There's already a guy who's like 6'3", who's like, you know, at least 220, who's been feasting the low post recently in that run. So
there is a Gary Trent Sr. there.
No, come on, man.
No, but if I say that, then Gary's gonna show up. This is part. Okay, he's still shaking.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
man.
I mean,
Let's just get back to talking.
I might show up and you know what? I might show up and commentate. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Listen, we'll take that too, man.
If a former NBA player shows up to a pickup run and doesn't play, that's like Drake coming to a Raptors game and not performing, sitting courtside.
Nah, you just come and watch.
Drake to perform, bro. He's like.
There's plenty of times I cut through gyms and I see people play and I just watch. because
Okay.
I'm a coach. I scout for talent. I look for
Okay.
kids for
You're
my
not
team.
scouting for talent at this
No,
game.
no, no.
Gary,
No,
you're good,
it's-
man. Just go to Pi, all right? You're good. You're good.
All right, man. Let's talk a little Raptors. Let's talk a little Raptors. Okay, so Joel Embiid added to the 1:30 p.m. injury report. Apparently, he's questionable with a right knee injury recovery for tonight's game. Obviously, that's going to change a lot in terms of how the Raptors
Yeah,
want
we
to play.
need him to rest tonight. Go on, rest, Joe. Go
Yeah,
on,
right.
rest, Joe, and get ready for the games back home. You know, just go on, rest.
Absolutely. You don't want to see triple teams from the Raptors. Because, the Raptors love triple teaming people, double teaming.
No,
especially guys like him.
I don't think they love it. No team loves it because it puts you under so much rotational pressure.
Okay.
You know, because when one guy can suck 2 or 3 guys, that means there's 2 open. And now you're shooting at guys and running out at guys and getting pump faked, and all these guys are driving and kicking. And, when you have the double and triple team, and the more teams can drive into the interior of your defense, kick it, next guy run out, drive, kick it, and now you got that Golden State effect where the ball is hot potatoing around, that's discouraging to a defense. So the best defense is when you can play head up, because what it does is it keeps all defenders on the inside. Which means okay, say I'm posting up, right?
Yep.
But you guys are all my offense. Well, you guys are all around the 3-point line because I'm Joel. So that means all the Raptors defenders, there's a guy in between each one of you. So if I can play you head up and I shoot and miss, the odds of you guys getting an offensive rebound are slim to none because you have none of your guys on the inside of the ball.
Yep.
And long shots make long rebounds. But when a big shoots a jump hook or something, it's not going to go off the back of the rim to the 3-point line. It's probably going to miss within 5 to 7 feet within the rim. So all those guys that are on the inside positions will get that rebound because we're not running out, closing out, getting straight line drive-by, or guys are pump fakers and we're flying and we're out of the play. When you can play head up, everybody's in the play.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the play, especially when you don't have perimeter guys who make you have to close the gap to help and recover. If you don't have a guy that can blow by, everybody can just sit in help position and basically force you into long jumpers.
Yeah, it's true. But, listen, the way Nick likes to play, he likes to bring a lot of pressure on the ball. He likes to force guys to drive into crowds.
Well, you got to. You got to speed up the tempo. You got to make sure you wear the point guard down. That's why they took Iverson off the ball and got Snow, because people want to pick Iverson up 90 feet. So think about it. I got to dribble down 90 feet, kick it to the wing. Then I got to come down here, come off the double screen, get the ball, and try to score.
Yeah.
Hey, you want 40 minutes of that today, tomorrow, and then Wednesday, then Friday? It's not going to happen. They got to take him off the ball so that they can just conserve his energy. So when he catches the ball, now he can go to turbo. Because a lot of times you got to use turbo to get down the floor. If you got a little pesky guard that's going to pick you up, you're going to run out of turbo. By time it's time for you to explode into your move because you used all your turbo to get it up. Use the turbo sprinting off the screen, coming off the screen, going to the hole. You know how you play 2K, you run out of turbo.
Yeah.
So you just wait till you catch the ball. Now you go into live action.
Yeah. No, that's smart. That's why, this season, you're seeing Fred, a guy like Fred, his efficiency has really gone up, right? But they've also taken him off the ball a little bit more. Some of that is also guys creating for him in the half court, but also some of that is just he's able to conserve his energy, pick his spots, and then take over when needed.
Well, I was watching him the other night, man, and he's really been getting it and going.
Yeah.
He's been getting it and going, and he's dribbling. He's keeping his dribble alive. And, I think guys underestimate when you dribble into the paint and under the rim and you do that little circle. Nash did it all the time. Freddie's doing it when you dribble around the charge circle. You have everybody looking around like they're looking down on the ground for drop change or something. And that's when somebody like Precious is cutting.
Yep.
If the other night he cut and Freddie hit him, and guys gonna get out the way because you coming in freight train and the guy just happens to turn around and here comes 6'10" Precious, full steam ahead, ready to launch pad. So, that penetration, I think that's helping his efficiency, and also not having the ball in his hands all the time because, people want to fault a point guard who has 2 turnovers a game. Well, if he's going to have the ball 90% of the time, there's probably going to be a chance that he's going to have a turnover here or there. And some of those turnovers aren't necessarily his. He's trying to feed the post and the guy don't seal, but you get that turnover.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
To me, if I look at you and I make a bad pass and they go directly to you, that's one thing. But if you don't seal your man because you playing soft and he come and take it, and I get that turnover, so it's a lot of pressure as a point guard, because you have to understand what your role is and everybody else's. And not only do I have to do what I got to do, but I got to make sure I'm telling you guys what to do. And then as a point guard like Freddie, I'm a starting point guard. Well, I got a rookie center out here in Coloco. What's his name?
Christian Coloco.
Yeah, Coloco, right? So I got a rook. He out here breathing heavy, high energy, moving fast.
Nah,
I'm trying to tell him what to do. He's
Yeah.
fouling. He's fouling at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's youthful energy. That's young. He
Yeah.
playing with that type of energy. So
Right.
imagine I got two of them guys on the floor. I got a Malachi. still got a mold.
Yeah.
I got to get P the ball. I got to make sure Scotty, he in his second year. So, as a point guard, man, it's a tough job, but I think he's doing a great job at it. And bottom line is, what people need to understand is when a team has, like the championship year, when everybody wins, everybody eats, everybody's happy.
Mhm.
Once you put 5 people to the table that eat individually, it's not going to work. We all got on the same uniform, but we all got to be one. You can't turn it into 5 games of one-on-one out here.
Yeah.
Like, and the way you solve those type of sometimes internal team issues is with defensive communication. Because if we play real defense, them 3 or 4 shots that you might need get created out of that defense. That deflection I get may lead. I got the deflection, but it lead to you a basket. I deflected. You get the credit for the steal that's going to go on the stat sheet, and you fast break for the dunk. So, things like that is how, a lot of times inner team squabbles, you just play solid D in communication. It's not a guy in this league that doesn't want to shoot the ball. It's not a guy in this league that can't score the ball. Yeah, he might not want to shoot, but at the same time, think about it. He's still a $150 million guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you take him out of the NBA, he's still one of the greatest players in the world.
Absolutely.
Even the last guy on the NBA roster or the last guy, whoever, how they do the rankings 1 through whatever,
Yeah.
and whoever's 430th in the NBA, the last player in the NBA who's ranked last, I guarantee you, he's still one of the greatest players in the world.
He's the
anywhere else.
430th best player in the world.
Exactly. When you look at it from that perspective, right? Now, imagine if there was only 430 mechanics on the planet and the 430th mechanic was 2 hours away. While now, as a basketball player, people will sit there and be like, at the bar stool as you watching the game, he trash, he did. Okay, he's terrible. Now, if that 2-hour mechanic, that 2-hour drive to that last mechanic, would you drive still? Would you get your car over there? Or would you say he's too trash to work on your car? Or let me take it deeper. What if I was a baby doctor?
Yeah.
And you was having a baby. He was the last ranked baby doctor on the planet. I'm not going over there. He's the last ranked doctor. Or you going to pull up right there hoping that doctor can do everything to help
Nah,
your baby.
you screaming help.
Yeah,
you screaming help.
What if I'm the last? You sure you want me to help? I'm the last ranked guy. You know what I'm saying? So people need to look in the perspective of when you talking about a certain level of profession that only so many people on the planet are even capable of doing.
No, for sure, man.
Only so many people on the planet are even capable of this job. And then you got to think about it on the next perspective. Probably 80%. At the end of every season, 80% of those contracts are guaranteed for the next year. So you really only got room for a new 30 in the first round.
Yep.
And maybe the first 10 of the second round, maybe.
Usually.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's only a room for like a few new 30 guys every year. Now, the thing is, when they add 30 new guys, that doesn't take the league from 430 to 460. Them 30 other guys had to go.
Yeah.
It's not like they're adding they're going to add 30 every year in 10 years. We can add 300 new guys. We got 700 guys in the league now.
Yeah, no. The turnover, sure.
The pressure's got to be crazy, too. That's why when you see guys who have made it in the league for a really long time, like how long in the league you play?
I played 9.
9 years? Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying? Like that's...
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know the average NBA lifespan.
When I got drafted, the average NBA career lasted 3 years.
Yeah. I think it's still like that.
Basically,
guys go overseas. You have all these other options. They end up falling out of the league, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, man, it's not always a talent thing, though. A lot of times it could be business. Like, as a 10-year veteran, you have to make, I think, 1.3 that exempt. That's the least. That's your league minimum.
Yeah.
Well, as the 10th guy, 11th guy to get 1.3 million, you're probably as a 10th guy not going to play. Teams are stopping at 7, 8 guys rotation wise. So we get to the playoffs, it might be 6. So why would I pay you 1.5 million as an individual who probably will never play when I can go and get a guy in year 5 and 4 and pay them like $550, $450,
Yeah.
and pay that $900,000 or $1 million to 2 guys, 2 young guys that got potential.
That's true.
2 younger guys that I could have bodies at practice, as opposed to one guy. Now, if you get that type of deal, that's because you were a true vet during your career. You played. Teams respect you in the locker room. A coach in an organization knows that you can hold some locker room stature. When teams are struggling, you can pull them together and talk, like Haslam in a sense.
Yeah,
the honest Haslam.
You see, like with Thad Young on the team right now too, a little bit.
You
Although
know
Thad
what
can
I'm
still
saying?
play, but
Yeah, but I'm just saying when you get to the point of a team paying you money when you're not going to be impactful on the floor, it's got to be something else.
right.
Yeah.
Haslam ain't about to come out there and do nothing on the floor.
I'd love to see it,
besides
though.
maybe Hack get into a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But the thing is, you know the coldest thing about it? They know that.
Yeah, his
They
triple-double
know
is
that.
2 points, 2 technicals, and,
Yeah.
you know, in 2 minutes.
2 speeches. But
Yeah.
listen,
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, having Haslam over there almost in a sense is like, you know, you go by somewhere like people at the bank, right?
yeah.
They feel good when they see security out front.
Mm.
So a lot of guys on that team, they see Haslam over there.
Yeah.
That's a sense of security for them.
Of course.
Yeah.
If the
that's
bench
true.
is clear or if something happened, they know
He's
Haslam
there.
ain't worried about that little change, that little suspension money. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be
Yeah.
right up his alley. Back to the enforcer thing.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
one of the
last ones.
last of the. There's some like guys claiming to be, but I'm saying he one of the last of the real respected like Mohican enforcers right now. Like cats, you know what I'm saying? Like he's respected out there in that
No,
sense.
he's from your era, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Gary, man. Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
Okay,
We just gotta get you back on the show. That's
We
that's
gotta
all it
get
is.
you
We gotta
back
call
on the
another
show.
ISO.
But for now it's time for Between the Lines real quick, brought to you by Bet Rivers. It's
Yeah.
a whole new game.
Yeah.
So the Raptors betting line is actually off because of the Joel Embiid injury.
Okay.
So may I recommend the Milwaukee Bucks -6 over the New York Knicks at home tonight?
The Knicks are playing well though.
Well, I think the Bucks are the best team in the
Yeah,
East.
you're right. They got nobody guard
So I'm going to
Giannis.
take them at home. So that was Between the Lines brought to you by Bet Rivers. It's a whole new game. Gary Trent, Sr., appreciate you.
Thanks for having
As
me. Man.
always, Tuesday pickup run, think about it. Okay.
You know what? I'll be honest,
Jay-Z Art Basel
I'm
era,
leaving
think
Sunday,
about it.
man. I'm leaving Sunday.
Okay.
Oh.
So, you know what I'm saying?
You told me you come here once a month.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have
You know
told me
what?
that. You should have told me that.
Nah, the banter's over, man. That does it for us today. I'm your host, Will Lou. You've been listening to The Raptors Show on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Make sure you find The Raptors Show wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, review, rate the show. Thanks again to my producer and co-host, Alex Wong. Thanks to Gary Trent Sr., for our producer, Derek Brandale, Jennifer Rolnick for helping with the YouTube stream. We'll be back next week.
Man, appreciate it.